Donald Trump has said his administration will soon begin targeting drug cartels on land. Following months of maritime operations in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific, and recent operation to capture Venezuela's leader on drug trafficking charges, Trump claimed that the US has significantly curtailed drug smuggling by sea and said that the focus will now shift to land-based actions against cartels. He alleged that cartels have a strong hold over Mexico and described the situation there as deeply troubling. The president did not provide details on how or when these land operations would be carried out. Earlier this week, Trump had said that he had offered US military assistance to Mexico to combat drug cartels, saying that the country needs to step up its efforts. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has rejected any such intervention, stating that Mexico opposes foreign involvement in its internal affairs and maintains that intervention has never brought stability to the region. Let's in fact take a look at the US-Mexico border and the US Army bases that are present around that border. So these are some of the very important points that we need to discuss, because Trump is now threatening land aggression. So he is saying that there can be attacks through land as well. So it's very important to look at how the US and Mexico border looks like. So currently this is the US. The area is around 9.15 million square kilometers, and this is Mexico, which has been highlighted in yellow. The area is 1.96 million square kilometers. So they share this border. And this is exactly the border. The border is around 3,145 kilometers. So a very long land border with US. That's what Mexico is sharing. Remember that they are also sharing their seas. So the Gulf of Mexico is there. We have the Pacific Ocean as well. Now let's look at militarily how many bases are actually present. So there are around 6 major military bases around the border area that we highlighted for you. So this is around 3,000 kilometers, and over 3,000 kilometers you can look at the concentration of the major bases. The first 4 are over here and 2 are over here. So the concentration basically is here and here, and these are some of the names. So the first is the naval base in San Diego, then is the Fort Huachuca base, and then we have the DMAF base in Tucson, we have the MCAS in Yuma, then we have the El Paso base over here, which is one of the most military famous bases, and we have the naval base in Loma. So these are some of the US military bases around the US-Mexico border, 3,400 kilometers of borders, and we have one of the major military bases here. So strategically it's very important, because Trump is saying that through land as well they might just start conducting operations. Remember that he is already doing operations in the sea. We are seeing that US has been seizing oil tankers and drug cartels for drug trafficking, but now we are looking at land borders. So these are the number of military troops at each of these bases. Very important to note. At number 1 there are 24,000 military troops. At number 2 there are 6,500 military troops. At number 3 7,900. At number 4 we have 14,000 military personnel. So look at the entire concentration over here. This will go into the 40 to 50,000. So 40 to 50,000 military troops all here on the border, trying to protect drug cartels from entering. And then when we look at 5th and the 6th ones, we have 28,000 to 41,000. And 22,000 over here at the naval base apart from El Paso. So over here as well 50,000. So we are looking at over 1 lakh soldiers, military personnel around the border areas between US and Mexico. So this is something that's very important to note, because this is what Trump is talking about, that he will be aggressive now through land as well. In fact, let's take this discussion forward and take this to an expert. We have Colonel T.P. Tyagi, defense expert, who is joining us on the broadcast shortly. Till then, what we have in fact told you is very important, because US President Donald Trump has said that his administration will very soon begin targeting all the drug cartels on land. We showed you how important that land border is. We have around 3,500 kilometers of land border between US and Mexico, and that is what Trump is going to target. Now, there will be no drug proliferation through the land border. So the Trump administration will now look at obliterating those drug cartels on land. I believe Colonel T.P. Tyagi is on the line with us. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast. We appreciate your time. So when we are looking at this US threat towards Mexico now, we are looking at a lot of military presence on the US-Mexico border areas as well. We have just highlighted how important it is for the US, because they have around 6 bases over there, a lot of military personnel deployed, and US President Trump now threatening that they will start these land operations. We saw that over the sea, the US has been conducting seizures, now on land as well.
Actually, what has happened is that Donald Trump has become overconfident after seizing the oil tanker of Russia, Bella 1. So now he is threatening Mexico. Though he gave a threat earlier also that I will take action against Mexico, against Cuba, against Colombia, against Iran. So now particularly for Mexico, he said initially to the president of Mexico that allow the American troops to tackle the drug cartels within Mexico. So with Mexico, they have got a border of more than about 3,500 kilometers, and there are a number of drug cartels there. And Trump says that actually the Mexican country is being run not by the government, by the drug cartels. Hence, he asked the president that permit me to send my troops in Mexico. So she refused. Now he says that because you have refused, either you allow, otherwise I will send my troops in Mexico. And that appears to be likely, because now he is taking one by one, Mexico, then he may probably go to Colombia, then he may probably go to Cuba. But in Mexico, his action seems to be imminent, saying that this is in the interest of the American people, and my goal is MAGA, means make America great again. Hence, I want to save my people from the menace of these drugs. So this is what, and you can expect anything from Trump. I don't know whether it is correct or not, but we have seen it number of times that his mother used to say that he is an idiot and he doesn't have common sense. And they said that if you join politics, he will be a disaster. It appears that whatever he is doing, he is getting success. But eventually, it may not be the case. If you give me one more minute, I wish to tell you that the solution of the menace and the problem which is today prevalent in the entire globe, the solution is with India. How come? Because most of the countries are now against America, and those who are with America, they are also, by heart, they are not with America. So now this meeting of the General Assembly is called, and there, 2/3 majority says that we want change in the UN Charter and the veto power should be abolished. So this can be done because it is covered in 109 of the UN Charter, and it was done by Dr. Ramaswamy Mudaliar, who was a representative of India in 1945. Hence, India can take up this case because on his insistence, this clause 109 was included, that 2/3 majority after 10 years. So 10 years have passed from 1955. In 1945, the Constitution was written. In 1955 onwards, we could have taken this action. We did not. But now we can take. And the reason is simple, that there are big and strong leaders, but there is not a single respected leader as with India, where the people respect him. Hence, India can take it, and all other countries will flock to India. So this is what my thinking, that the meanness which has been created by Trump can be checked by India alone.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast and providing us with that valuable